Hi, I'm Dr. Don Teague, the creator of the Alpha Zone, and it is really my pleasure today to introduce to you our newest Alpha Zone coach, Coach Cary Nadel, who, frankly, I go back with many, many years. We both starred on our local softball team. I had the good sense to stop playing after a while, but Cary continues to defy the odds. He's still at it. He's still playing the game, and the guy can really hit. But beyond that, what he brings to our Alpha Zone is really something unique. And I really want the parents and high school athletes to pay careful attention. Cary is a college coaching scout. And particularly, he's involved with an organization called National Scouting Report, which is a 43-year-old global scouting and recruiting organization. And their mission is to guide qualified student athletes through the college athletic recruiting process. And that plays such a major role for young athletes and their parents trying to get their kids a scholarship to a college so they can continue their athletic skills. So, without further ado, I want to turn this over to Cary and have him tell you a little bit more about the course he'll be teaching for the Alpha Zone, which is a 1 hour course, and it will deal with all of the things I just mentioned. So, Cary, take it away.
Thanks, Don. And just for those of you, when Don and I started playing together, we're only two lefties on the team. So we split time at first base, and I ran into the outfield a lot. I've been with National Scouting Report for 13 years. We were formed 43 years ago down in the Birmingham, Alabama area. And what we're about is helping boys and girls get to college athletics, regardless of the division, 1, 2, or 3, doesn't really matter. It's a daunting process. It's not like it was back in the dark ages where somehow coaches found out about people, because then there were not travel baseball, softball, soccer, basketball, lacrosse programs. The only sports that were full year were the individual sports, swimming and track, which was under the guise of the AAU. So back then, we started really out of a small print shop in Birmingham, where the owner did a one-pager on his son, who wound up playing football down there. And then his neighbors or his teammates, geez, could you create one of these one sheets for me? And that's how it started way back then. We're a global organization. We've got representatives in every state and several foreign countries, even on the other side of the pond, because the girls and boys from over there want to come to, college in the U.S. Our job is to act as the promotional or advertising arm for these high school student athletes, getting their information to college coaches. We're not wasting time. We go through a very stringent vetting process. One, they got to be able to have the skills to be able to compete at the collegiate level, whether they come in to us as a senior or they come into us as an 8th or a 9th grader. They've got to have the academics. We tell coaches we're bringing them student athletes, not just athletes. We then do an extensive interview to understand who these kids are, who the family is. And if we don't have the right kind of attitude, demeanor from the athlete or the parents, we're not going to take them on. Again, because it's our reputation, my reputation with the coaches, and we've all seen issues, chemistry issues on teams, and we don't want to bring that to any of the college programs out there. Then through our various methods, whether it's face-to-face at events, it's electronic, or it's even paper-based, we get our information on a continual basis to these coaches. Again, it's not like it was years ago. Just because someone sends a coach an email doesn't mean that coach is opening it. They get hundreds and thousands. The big football program of Alabama, I can't tell you how many Nick Saban's team gets, but they must get 1,000 or more a week, especially after a great season. They need some way to cut through the clutter so these coaches will look at that information. Academics are key. So part of what we're going to do in this session is really give people an understanding of how the recruiting process really works. Why there's a lot of misinformation out there. Someone's talking to a friend and the question of recruiting comes up, that person's going to tell the other person what they heard earlier because it sounded good. Not that anyone's steering anybody wrong. It's just what they heard. With the impact of COVID and the changes to the transfer portal and the NIL, that has radically changed recruiting in the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, more so than a year ago when we had the COVID exemptions. So, that's all part of it. We need good metrics. We need good season stats. We need video. Depending on the sport, could be skills footage plus game film from sports like softball and baseball, or it's more game footage from the 100-yard sports, lacrosse, soccer, football, even volleyball and basketball and ice hockey. So that's all part of it. We're also going to speak about importance of grades. With the exception of some sports, which is a 1-to-1 full scholarship, like in football or men's and women's Division I basketball, student athletes are getting the bulk of their money from their academics. If you get hurt as a sophomore and you're done, you don't lose your academic money. So academics are key. It's only that Reggie Jackson with the bat in his hand or the Roger Clemens with the ball in his hand are going to get full rides in baseball. There could be one guy on a team with a full ride, a couple with nothing on the athletic side. So they're going to get their funding and scholarship support on the academics. We're helping these girls and boys get the right fit. Why? Because only 0.1% of high school athletes ever paid $1 to go pro anywhere in their sport globally. My oldest daughter, when she played softball in high school, her coach went to Italy in the summers for $24,000 to play softball. She was a pro, but she needed another job when she came back stateside in September. So we're going to go through all the aspects of the recruiting process, things people need to understand about how it truly works. And if at that point someone's interested in talking further, then we will go through our vetting process with that student athlete and their family. And if they become an NSR prospect, we will get them and their information in front of college coaches. And 95% of the time they're receiving multiple offers. So they've got their choice of the university to spend the next 4 or 5 years at.
That is so good. And I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm thinking, why wouldn't any parent jump to connect up with you? Because I know you, I know your background, I know how dedicated you are to what you do. And I know your track record. You've had tremendously great results doing what you do. And to me, it is just a tremendous honor to have you as one of our Alpha Zone coaches. So I look forward to getting going with you. And, we want to make this Alpha Zone a tremendous opportunity for people interested in all sports, all ages. And you certainly fit the bill as somebody that people are going to be looking to connect with. So on that note, thanks so much for your time. Have a great day, and let's go to work.
Sounds good, Don. Thanks, buddy.
See ya.